Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Daddy Easy here. Not gonna go into intro, and I like to just say happy Mother's Day to everybody out there, all the mothers out there. So let's do the review for this. Now it's not gonna be a full review. I'm not gonna sit up here and try to do what everybody else do with all the B-roll and all that stuff. I will give you little clips and backwards and forwards of how this thing actually looks, playing games and extra stuff like that. So this is the LG UltraGear. This is the model of the 34GX900A-B. This does have it has two HDMI 2.1s. It have one DP, which is a display point of 1.2 and 1.4. It does have two USB A's coming in at a downstream of 3.0. So, and you do get the one that I actually love about it. You get one USB-C, which has video pass-through, and you actually get 65 watts of power delivery, so you can actually plug your laptop in. You got a handheld, you can pop in your handheld like your Legion Go, your RG Allies. I don't know about the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if you'll be able to get a pass-through through it, because I know the Switch is kind of like funny with the stuff. I don't know if you'll be able to just plop it into the bottom and just use it directly on there. I haven't even tried it. I don't even want to test that, because Nintendo is very funny with their stuff if you don't use their product. So that's kind of like one of the things. I might try and see how it works on that and pop it on here and see how that is. You do get LEDs in the back of it. Now let me talk about the LEDs real quick. I don't know what's going on. LG is kind of like blocking the way how you use the LEDs on the back of it. I know some people was able to actually get inside of it and actually be able to control the lights in the back. Just me personally, I wasn't able to. What I had to do was use my USB-C to plug it into a C port into the monitor and plug it directly into my computer. Once you do that and do like a video pass through like that, if you use something like Signal RGB, it will pick it up, but the problem is it's like you can't really control anything on it. I don't know if it's being blocked. I still have to mess with it. If I find a way that you can actually use it, I will post a video showing you guys how to actually do it. You guys know that I do hacks, how-tos, all that stuff like that. Yeah, this monitor is something else. It's really nothing much on here I can actually talk about, but what I already just said said on here. It does have a 800 curvature on towards it, so it's way deeper towards the other curves I have. I think the monitor that I have over here is 1800 in the curvature. This one is 800, so it's like really curved. Like playing games, it just feels, I don't know why, for some reason on this one, when you first look at it, you got to get used to it. But once you dial in and you get used to the way how it looks, it like matches your eyeballs. So like once you get immersed inside the games, it just hits you and you can see everything perfectly. Now the reason why I brought this, as you do know, I have brought the Asus Strix monitor, QD OLED. This one is WOLED, so it's WOLED. This does come at 240 hertz with a refresh response rate of 0.3. Same thing with my Asus monitor, which is actually right here. So this is actually good for gaming. I brought this basically to be able to play consoles and PC, mostly PC, because y'all know I'm a PC gamer. But also on top of it, the only thing I don't like on this thing is that it does not have ALLM, which my Asus does. This does have VRR, so you do get that HDMI 2.1 with VRR on it, so that's not a problem. So if you put this towards your PlayStation, you can. When you put it to your PlayStation, you're going to get notifications pop up saying this is not the correct size on it. You can always fix that. Just go into the monitor, change up the size, and put it down to 16 by 9 instead of 21 by 9 for the PlayStation. It's fun. I do enjoy playing it. It does have an FPS count on it. The only thing that I lost on here from my Asus monitor part was the sniper mode. I do like the sniper mode on it, and it does have an FPS count on it. The thing that I like about that the Asus Strix monitor have is that it had the FPS counter with the actual barcode bars on it that let you know when you're hitting up and down the spikes and stuff like that. I do like to see the spikes on it, but this is cool. It has everything on it. Has a lot of settings on there. Now, let me tell you the difference between this monitor and the Asus monitor that you guys know I have. The difference between a QD OLED and a W OLED is the colors. The QD OLED has more of a purplish tint. This one is more like a matte glass finish. So it's a lot of like the blacks on here I like a little bit better than the QD. The QD, you get a lot of blacks. I mean, it's real dark and stuff like that. But I don't know what it is. But the W OLED blacks just seem like it's more immersive for me. I was able to play some Silent Hill 2, which y'all gonna see some gameplay now. I was playing some Silent Hill 2, and the blacks on it just look good. Like I'm gonna show you it on the QD OLED. When I'm playing Silent Hill 2, it's don't pop the way how I want it to pop. All the settings is basically the same, running backwards and forwards. But on the ultra wide, it just looks way better. It pops out a lot more. It's just more immersive. I feel like I'm inside the game. Now let me put it like this. There's nothing wrong with a QD OLED monitor. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just certain games just don't work perfect with this monitor. I'm talking about the QD. So basically what the QD monitor does is, like with a lot of the colors between oranges and yellows, it makes it look like it's neon type colors and it doesn't look correct. This one, even though you don't get that wow factor, like wow, this thing like that. And the reason why I say it's more of the wow factor is because this is not a glass panel. This is more like a matte, matted glass, which the QD one is more of a glassy glass screen. So it makes this the colors pop out more because it looks like glass. On that type of monitor. This one is like a little matte finish because it's curvature like that, so you don't get that pop like wow. Like you get the wow factor on it, but on the QD it's like wow, it's glossy. I enjoy playing this more at nighttime. I do play in a dark environment. As you can see right here, it's dark. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the colors on this one I like more, but the colors on the QD I like it a lot. It does look real good now. As you can see, some of the games that I've been playing on here, to be honest, my gameplay experience has went up. Being able to see more of the screen. Now, to take advantage of this type of monitor, you do need a high-end GPU. I do have a 5080 OC in my gaming rig, and on my Legion Go 2, I am rocking with a eGPU with a 5070 Ti OC. Even with a 5070 Ti OC, I still get the frame rates and stuff like that, but it's not pushing it like like my 5080 is. But this monitor is for people that at least has a 5070 Ti OC. If you don't have a 5070 Ti OC, this monitor is not good for you. Basically, if you're playing at 1440p, you might have to change your aspect ratio on here. If you're not rocking with that 5080 or at least a 5070 Ti OC. The reason why I'm saying OC is because the overclocking is already done. You don't want to just push everything on here because of this monitor. I do play in 4K. I do play in 1440p. So I switch up backwards and forwards. I do put the upscaling up on here to play in 4K. So yeah. The thing is, this monitor is a cool monitor. It's very fun to use. I have a lot of fun using it. It's very immersive. I brought it to be immersed. I wanted to be able to play like Hell on Divers 2, Silent Hill 2 Remake, Resident Evil, all the Resident Evils, and have that full screen. Like Requiem look good on here. I'm not going to cap. Even Resident Evil 2 and 3. The bigger screen just makes it more immersive. Like jump scares is way better. Like I've ended the games multiple times. I already know what's going to happen. But with the extra screen, just makes everything pop. Just make everything feel like it's real and it's happening right there. I can't wait for the 007 game to come out. Gears of War look on here. Now, y'all know I was a big Gears fan, but I kind of like stopped. But Gears of War look real good on here. Yeah, I mean, just leave you off with a couple of gameplays and you guys seeing with it. But yeah, I'm not going to do much with anything else. Just wanted to give you guys a little fast review like that, what this monitor can and can't do, because a lot of people's not doing reviews for this particular monitor. So like I said, yeah, has two HDMI 2.1s. It has one display port that goes from 1.2 to 1.4. You do got two USB 3.0 USB-A 3.0s. Get that one USB-C port that's a video pass-through that works as a display port that supports up to 65 watts power. Oh yeah, I also meant to mention this, forgot to mention this before. The USB-C video pass-through port, you can switch it from performance mode to high-speed mode. So basically, if you plug it in and you set it towards resolution, it's going to give you that full 240 hertz of it. Picture's going to look really good and stuff like that. If you switch it down towards data and stuff like that speed, it lower it down the resolution. It gives you more performance with the bandwidth and stuff like that. So it's up to you how you want it. If you want to sacrifice clarity for more performance, or you want to get more clarity and sacrifice the performance, you have that choice to twiddle around with it. You do get eye care on here. I'm sorry, not eye care. You get OLED care on here. So you do LED clean, so you can get rid of like burning and stuff like that. One thing I do like about this monitor is once the monitor goes to sleep, it automatically does a LED clean for you. So once you got your monitor to go to sleep, it does it automatically. You don't have to worry about doing burn-ins. You don't have to manually do it yourself. Did I miss anything else? Yeah, that's it, guys. It's just this monitor is crazy. I love it. Big curvature. I can't complain about it. I love everything about it. I'm happy with the monitor. Got the extra ports on it. So yeah. You guys might be asking me about the ports. I haven't tested out the ports on here, the USB-A ports. I believe, and I'm just saying this by my opinion, I believe the two USB the two USB-A ports only works, I believe it only works for peripherals, that only works for the video pass-through. So if you plug that in, I believe it's only going to work towards those things that have on it, or it might be just for charging. I'm not completely sure, but I do know that you could plug your mouse and keyboard on here. I believe you can connect your mouse and keyboard onto it, to those USB-A ports. For the Type-C ports, like if you're using a Legion Go, something like that, or ROG Ally, I believe for like that, for your Mac also, or your laptop. So once it's plugged in, you don't have to plug into directly to the computer. You just plug into the ports like that. I am going to test with that, and I will make an update video letting you guys know exactly how that works out. All right. So it's your boy Daddy Easy here, iPod jailbreak hacker on these time, and I'll catch you guys later. That's it, and I'm out. Deuces. One. Peace. One. I'm out of here. Holla.